What's going on, beautiful people? It is early. I've had to come in early. I've got a lot to do. I'm barely awake. And the reason I'm up early is because I've got Dave from Aquarium Gardens come in. Now, Dave has got an amazing shop with the most beautiful, perfect gallery. And I can't have him walking into this. I mean, I've got stuff everywhere. I've just finished doing a build, so, you know, I do make a bit of a mess. Yeah, I've just finished building this shallow tank. And as a result, we've got things dotted around everywhere, mess on the top, things that need packing away. I definitely need to sort out some floating plants that's on top of some of the tanks, like that one. This one needs trimming back a bit. This one's covered in duckweed, but I actually like this one. Again, it's a little bit overgrown, but I think it's quite a cool look. And then this is where we're going to be building a tank together, not today, tomorrow, but I need to prep everything. So the saltwater tank here this is one that I've never even set up. That's coming out the way. We've got a 60 centimetre to come in here with a cabinet as well from Superfish, so that'll look really good in this section. Now, it's not like I need to panic too much. I mean, Dave knows this isn't an aquarium gallery. It's a studio with gallery elements, I guess. But it's always working. It's always stuff's being changed, move around, new things coming in. So he gets that. But at the same time, I still want it to look amazing. I've known Dave for a good 4 years now. Ever since I had 1,000 subscribers, I went and met Dave. So yes, we've known each other a long time, and it's great that he can finally come to my studio. Right, everything's been tidied up and it's ready. Kate's done some feeding, some topping up. I've gone round and done all plant trimming, clearing out all the surface plants as well, all the floating plants, sorry. So that one's looking really, this is the rainbow tank. Now look, the sun's coming in, just hitting them all. Look at that. First bit of sun we've seen in a while. We've just had horrendous storms. And then over this side, you can see now as well, the middle tank, I cleared out a ton of the duckweed. That's looking great. There was loads and loads of floating plants with the Congo puffers as well, but that's cleared. Yeah, they got a lot more sort of space to swim at the surface now, which is nice. Look, there's Bertha down there. Cleared out a huge amount of plants on the Amazon puffers as well because it was so thick with vegetation all the way to the back, but I've just gone in and ripped chunks out of it, and it's created way more space, and they're swimming a lot more freely. It will all grow back in again, but hopefully in a more sort of controlled, dense way, because they're all quite leggy. I think that looks really nice now. God, that sun is bright coming in. Should probably put the blind up. The discus tank is already like looking amazing, didn't have to do anything. This is coming along so well. Look how active they all are now. They feed really well as well. They know the little tap, they all come to the front. And yeah, that's going brilliantly. I also gave Chunks his 8-foot tank. Well, it's not Chunks', but he's the biggest fish, I guess, and the angels. But I gave this a good clean up as well, ready for Dave coming in. It's still got a wild sort of look to it, but that's deliberate. It's supposed to be an Amazon-style tank. And when you look at Amazonian sort of rivers, there is a lot of big, tall plants hitting the surface and that sort of thing. So I just keep it kind of rough and natural. Anyway, it is nearly the end of the day. Now, we weren't just doing that all day. We've been to the shop as well, the fish shop. We've got a load of cories for one of the tanks that you would have already seen, actually, but yeah. So this is the tank that me and Dave are going to be scaping. Obviously, it's no good like this. So we have got the Superfish Scaper 90. So it's a 60 centimetre aquarium, 90 litres. It's not dirty, it's misted up. It's been in my car and it's so cold outside. And as soon as you bring anything with glass into this tropical paradise, that's kind of what happens. But yeah, so I need to set up a stand for this as well, which Superfish have also sent, which is perfect. Just sit nicely on that. But the problem is, I do need to build it. It's all going to be going here. So yeah, like I said, I've got to take this out and I'll take that out, put it in the garage at home or something till I want to use it. But I've got to build the flat pack furniture. Yay! Actual fact, these are really easy to build. So it's the same stands that I've got here, but slightly smaller because this is the 80 centimetre. So we've got the 60 centimetre ones. They go together really easy. So I'm not too worried. I don't mind flat pack furniture when it works, you know. It's when it doesn't work with rubbish instructions that I hate it, but this should be fine. And I've just started to like place all these pieces here, and then I realised I've ordered the wrong one. I've ordered the 60. I've ordered a 60 stand. I meant the Scaper 90, but it's 60 centimetres. So this is a bit too small, but not to worry. I've got another stand already built that I can put in place anyway. It's the same, it's just larger, and I can use this in one of my smaller tanks. Okay, crisis averted. I had a spare calyx unit at home, which I've had 60 centimetre tanks on these before, lots of times. It's what I started with in one of my first sheds, actually. And yeah, they sit a bit low, so it would be fine at home, but obviously in a gallery or studio like this, a few blocks, just like on these ones, and it brings it all up a bit level. Yeah, it's not the greatest looking thing, but like I say, it's a studio, and our eye lines are up here, so that's all good. We can get the tank prepped. And I would say the Scaper 90 kit is the best value for money kit that you can buy. It's also probably the perfect size for most people as well, because any bigger, it's possibly too big for, you know, like an apartment or something like that. It's not going to take up a huge amount of room if you want it in your living room, but it looks class and it comes with everything you need as well. So let's take a look. So obviously, oh, this is so satisfying, I love it. Boing. Yeah, obviously the kit comes with the tank, but the good thing is, it's like crystal glass or whatever you want to call it. So it's got more of a blue tint rather than the green tint that you get to the glass. I think it just gives a more fresh look. You get the Scaper 90 light, which is an absolutely brilliant light. It grows every single plant I've ever put under it, even without CO2, obviously with nutrient layer and everything like that in place as well. We've also got a hang on the back filter, which, you know, isn't the best looking of things, but it works really well. And especially if you put the black background on, you can't see it anyway. And you get some fertilizer as well, which is great, you know. You're already off to a good start. You can fertilize your plants, that sort of thing. Some instructions, which I don't need. And also a liquid CO2 as well. So you've got your fertilizer, liquid CO2, your filter, and your light. Heater-wise, if you need a heater, you can add one, obviously. But if you're having it in your house, most houses' temperatures are going to be pretty decent for a lot of fish. In the summertime, they get as warm as, like, you know, tropical temperatures. In the wintertime, most of us have got heating on anyway. Obviously, that depends on what fish you've got and the specific needs of them. But yeah, what I like is the glass. Look at the glass. So you don't get that overspill of silicone all up the side. It just joins really, really neatly, and you just get that nice, clean finish. It's also got a sponge mat as well at the bottom. So yeah, let's get it on the calyx unit and get everything set up, ready for Dave getting here. He's going to be in a few hours. I've left this a bit late, haven't I? Yeah, if you need an example of how well the Scaper lights grow plants, I mean, you've only got to look at these 3 tanks. This is the same kit, it's just the larger version. But look at my crazy plant growth. It's just insane. So I'm going to put the black background on. I'm not sure if that's what we're going for or not. We'll see what Dave wants to do. But just to show you, it's as easy as putting a bit of tape at the side and then just taping it to the edge of the aquarium. A couple at the bottom as well. There we go, instant black background. And we can just remove it if we want to as well. And then we've got our scaper light. Slots nicely over the top. And I've put all the electrics in one of the drawers of the calyx unit. Ta-da! There we go, these work quite well. Now obviously when we're scaping, I'm going to turn off all of these lights and reflections you can see. But yeah, it looks quite professional. Get the filter hung on the back, and like I say, with the black background, you can't see it. If we remove the black background, I'll probably switch it out for a canister filter, which is an upgrade you can do. We've also got upgraded lights and everything as well, but I want to show you how well it works, you know, just with the standard kit. Because most of my tanks, I've just grown everything with the standard kit. But obviously Dave wants to come. He's bringing a few special bits to, you know, upgrade to his sort of level. So yeah, that'll be cool. And then the filter as well, which goes in like that, obviously on the back. But one really good thing about this filter that I love is all these cartridges here, they've got a coarse pad inside and then fine on the outside, on both sides as well. Now that fine pad gets your water crystal clear. And because there's so much of it, it lasts a good while before you need to clean it out. But if you do need to, you just unplug them. It's quite easy. Take it out. I'm not going to do it, but oh yeah, I can do it. Hang on. There we go. You take them out. They all come apart. The fronts come off. You can clean everything and put it back nice and easy and ready to go again. So yeah, they are a really, really good filter in terms of how they work. I don't mind how they look. Some people might want to like change to lily pipes coming in. But if you don't, look at this. Look how good this is. Ready? Slide it down the back. And all you've got is that one piece coming in. Now it does come with a surface skimming section on it as well. Let me show you. Yeah, you can just swap out this part here. And then you've got like your surface skimming area that takes the surface off. But I just use a load of floating pumps. So I don't like to really use that one. It's just extra things for me to clean, and I'm very lazy. So I just stick with the normal pipe like that. But how good is all of that? Look, all in one package. You've got everything you need. Now, obviously, I'm making do with the Calyx unit, but these are so much better suited because obviously, when you open them up, you know, you've got a lot of space for all your stuff inside. Your plug can come through like that, and I like to hang it there, so that way it's not on the bottom if there is any leakages. I mean, I've never had that, but it's a possibility, I guess. But yeah, I think I will order the correct one for sure, because I do like this black and grey effect that you can get on the cabinets. I just think it looks real class, and it goes with the scapes quite well. But yeah, this will do for the minute, otherwise we wouldn't be able to build the tank. Right then, nothing to do now but wait for Dave to arrive. He's coming within the next few hours, and his whole boot is full of Hardscape and rocks for me. I put an order in, and I said, look, you're coming down anyway, it saves on postage, let's just fill the boot up. So we're gonna have so much Hardscape to choose from, not just for this tank, but I've got some really cool plans coming up as well, especially for my Malawi cichlids, because their tank needs to be sort of rejigged. They're getting huge. Here we go, look, yeah. See all those ones in the middle? There's way bigger ones as well, like some dominant males, but when I set this tank up, they were all so much smaller. But I've been feeding I've been feeding the pellets to them. So I used to just feed them the flake because they were smaller, but since I've been adding the pellets as well, it's way more nutrient dense, and they've all just got so much. Look at that big boy right at the back there in the middle. He is a big one. Anyway, the setup is no longer suitable for them. So that massive piece of wood will come out. I'm going to go for something a lot more natural for them. This has got like a red theme that I was going for, which I've enjoyed, but to see the true, real colours of the fish, we need a more neutral colour tone as well, and just a way, way more sort of open setup for them, more room. And yeah, lots of rocks still, but just like in a different way. Can't wait for that. Look who is here. Pretending like I've just seen him. We've just done a full walk around of like all the tanks, haven't we, Dave?
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Yeah, mind blown.
Yes, we liked it. But now we're going to get started on the build. Dave, should we take them out to see what you've brought?
Got my car keys, so let's go and have a look.
This is nuts. It's loaded this whole car up. I don't think it's all going to fit in this 60 centimetre tank, Dave.
Well, we'll give it a go. Right. It's going to go in this.
Oh my goodness. I mean, that would be cool, but...
Just on its own.
Yeah.
That's just for you.
One rock. What's this?
I don't know, it's got somebody's name in it, I don't know.
And it says ADA. I've never had an ADA light. Dave's bought me an ADA. Amazonia. Did you just bring all your ADA stuff?
I got a bit carried away. What can I say?
So we decided last week that we would be doing this, right? And then, like, within a day, David loaded the whole car up with everything. And now here we are. It's all in the back as well.
Oh yeah, the light screens, yeah.
Oh yeah, we've got light screens.
Yeah.
So
and baby seats.
I don't need the baby seats anymore.
Yeah, there you go.
Sweet. Okay, so I've got, how many did I get in the end? About
you ordered 6, I think.
So I ordered 6 of those. So, so we've got 260 centimetres, haven't we?
4 60s and 2 45s.
460, 245. Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Oh, that's going to be awesome. I've never had one before, so this will be cool.
It makes so much difference.
So I've got the black background to start with, because that's what comes with the kit.
Yeah.
We're going to do it with the kit, and then I'm going to go bing to show the upgrades sort of afterwards.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there'll be a big difference. Of course there will be, because the cost is just insane compared to just the base level kit.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's what we're looking for, isn't it? The progression.
It's what you can do, yeah. If you progress and you get so far in the hobby, this is what you can do if you want.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Nice.
Let's get in.
Yeah.
We better start unloading. I'm going to have to put this camera down. Dave has come in clutch. Look at this lot. Oh, is this black cereal?
Yeah, this is black or dark cereal, so normal stuff, but it's loads of detail in that.
That's awesome. Oh, that's Galapagos?
Galapagos stones, like nice pitted rocks, really. It's like a posh lava rock.
Yeah.
Nice.
Posh lava rock, like that.
Elderly stone, which is beautiful because it's this dark sort of stones with like clean, like sharp line stuff, but look, these colours like the rusty orange tones on it as well. So it's not just a black stone; it's quite interesting.
Yeah, I bought some off you before. Look, if you're looking here, this tank's got it, and that's how it goes under the water.
It's such a nice stone, and because it's black, I think black stones are sometimes the best because they contrast so well against the plants.
Yeah, true. Cool. So we've got those. We've got
some normal elderly stone down here, just cracking bits.
Nice. I haven't had any of that for a long time, so that's cool.
It's cost
Like, I don't think many people put in orders like this, do they?
Should be surprised, but it's not an everyday thing.
If they do you hand deliver it to them?
To be honest, sometimes it'd be probably cheaper than sending.
Oh, Alexa, stop it. We're having a conversation. So what I'm going to do, what I did last time when I have people here to escape, which has only been George so far, is everyone's seen me escape enough. You're the pro here.
Okay.
You take the lead and I'll just assist and we can talk over ideas together and stuff like that. But like, you're the builder, okay?
Yeah,
you're
cool.
the pro.
Probably...
Oh yeah, show everyone what else you bought as well that I don't usually have.
CO2. This
I'm
is...
scared, Dave.
I know, yeah. No, it's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. We've got a regulator over here.
Oh, okay.
This is a single stage or single gauge even life aqua regulator. It's a nice compact little thing that will just sit on the side of this bottle here.
Sweet.
Super easy to use. We'll show you how to do all that later.
I've got just about enough room next to it because I've had to make shift with the Calyx unit because I ordered the wrong...
that bottle will fit nicely.
It'll fit down the side, yeah?
Yeah, loads of room there.
Okay, sweet. I'm going to order the proper one, but I thought I ordered this, but I ordered way too small. And this would have overhung it, and I just thought, we'll do this for now. I know it can sit on there because I've had them on there lots before, so...
Yeah, it looks smart,
Do you know what rock we're going to go with?
I think we're going to go black elderly.
Okay.
And then I was thinking for the wood, potentially dark Redmore wood as well.
Dark Redmore, okay. I've never heard of this until Dave just said it, but let's have a look, Dave. Show me what is dark Redmore, because Redmore is... Shall I show him a usual Redmore?
Yeah, go on then.
So, usual Redmore is like this. It's got that sort of, to start with, orangey look to it. It does go dark after like a few months in the water, but Dave's got this new stuff called dark or black red. Is it called black? Yeah.
What does it say on the tag?
Black spiderwood or Redmore or spiderwood, same thing. But look, that's not been in water and it's already the colour you want it.
So it looks great straight away.
That's a game changer.
Yeah.
I'll have a box of that, please.
Box of that next time, okay?
You just bought that. I didn't order that, but Dave bought it to show me.
This is a nice little...
Yeah. Oh, if you guys want anything to order from Dave's shop, then I'll leave a link below because we're friends.
Hey. Thanks.
Yeah. Such a massive range. Like I say, I've been coming to you and dealing with you now for like 5 years, and it's so good.
The shop's just getting more and more like the longer we're here, the more hardscape we end up with. So
awesome.
Loads of stuff going on.
Cool. Okay, let's make a start. I mean, you're going to start.
I'll
with
probably
the wood?
start having a mess around with the wood first in the tank and just play with the composition first of all. I like to do that in an empty tank.
The problem is though, Dave, with my audience, you can't say you're going to start messing around with your wood.
Yeah, it's not the right thing to say, is it? You know, when you say something, after you say it. Well,
if I don't say that, they will. So
I'll just say I'm going to
have a fiddle.
I don't even know what I'm going to say now. I'm going to play with the composition.
Oh, that's
better,
it.
Isn't it? Yeah, in the tank.
It's a posh way of saying it. Of the composition.
All right.
Okay, Dave, what substrate are we using? Because I can see some posh stuff.
Yeah, this is ADA power sand here.
Oh yeah.
So this is like your bottom layer. So you know, like your bottom layer method.
Yeah.
This is basically kind of that, but mixed up in a bag, all ready to go.
Okay.
It's got all of like ADA's additives in, so clear super, back to 100, tourmaline, which are all...
I don't know what any of that means.
But what it does is it gives it substrate a really good start, and long term it breaks down waste as well, so it makes it healthy and active long term as well. So obviously it's something you can't add later on, so get it in straight away. Okay, so it has to be capped, essentially. Has to be capped, yeah. This is your bottom layer, and it has to be capped. And I heard the word bacter in there, so I'm assuming it's got kind of a dormant bacteria? The back to 100 is basically that dormant bacteria. Okay. Your tourmaline BC is tourmaline and bamboo charcoal, which is like waste breakdowns. Okay. Thing in the substrate. And then your clear super is essentially part of that as well. Like so a carbon? Or equivalent? Yeah, tourmaline BC is they've got the bamboo charcoal in. It's basically, basically that. Yeah. And then loads of pumice like volcano stuff in there as well. Oh, for beneficial bacteria. Yeah. What's the super clear? Did you say? Clear super. That's just part of like the kind of active like breakdown waste thing in the substrate as well. So it's making it like turning your substrate into a filter quicker and easier and better long term. So all three of those things are sort of working together to create like a perfect... Exactly. I'm sure tons of research and development went into it all, exactly, and I'm no scientist and I don't know exactly how those things work or what those things do exactly. I just know that it works. Yeah. That's all I'm interested in. And in a high-tech setup, you know, everything needs to be bolstered, including your substrate. So you're going to put the best that you can put in there if you're using highlighting and CO2.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so the point is you're paying a bit of a premium for this because it's everything in one. You know, you know it works. It's the right amounts of everything, I guess. So yeah, not used it before, so interested to see. I'm sure of course it works. I mean, everything works, doesn't it? It's just...
It pretty much is a standard thing for us now in all of our scapes, and we just know that it works, so we just use it. And it's not, say, something that you might use in one of your setups necessarily, because you might not need it.
Right.
For you know, in no CO2 and low light, but certainly in a high light, high tech situation, then it has its benefits massively. Yeah,
where you're pumping in tons of energy from the top, and like you're going to potentially run into problems without.
Yeah, if you're supercharging your aquarium, like with the light and CO2, you need to supercharge the substrate as well, basically.
Makes sense. That's a great way of putting it. And Amazonia, so this isn't like the original one that you can't, that just makes the tank go funny, does it?
Yeah, they've made like a version 2, and basically version 1 was more ammonia rich. I think it was like higher in organics and stuff, so it would get this really high ammonia spike to start with, which a lot of people were put off by and didn't want. Version 2 is like a slightly leaner version, so you don't get that ammonia spike.
Okay.
And it's definitely the most preferred option by most hobbyists these days. It's a lot easier to start out with, definitely.
I think I've seen this stuff before in one of your tanks. I could just see it down the sort of side underneath.
We tend to brush it away from the front at least, so you can't see it.
Oh, it does look fancy. Look at how sad we are. I get excited by a new substrate.
You can see all the different textures and colours, and that's all the different products like mixed in. So
yeah, all the substrate. All the charcoal. You can see that for sure. And then that's all pumice stone, is it?
Basically, yeah, volcanic type material, really porous. And you've got the bamboo charcoal, which is the black stuff, and all the tourmaline as well. So all these powders and stuff, what you can buy.
Oh yeah, because I have seen in old videos them pouring a powder on the top. Do they not do that anymore?
You can buy little tubs of it basically, and one little tub will do you multiple tanks.
Right.
So you can do it yourself, or you can just buy this, which is all in one. Yeah. It's got 3 products plus the volcanic all in one. It's an easy all-in-one bag, basically.
Because I think I've seen them do this and extra powder. Is that just because they're going like proper full on?
ADA do that as well. They'll put more tourmaline BC in, more back to 100 because
it's ADA.
Why not? But essentially, you don't need to do that. It will help, of course. The more you put into it, it will help. But
yeah. So you've got 2 bags there, Dave. Do you think we're going to need 2 bags, or did you just bring me extra?
I just bought you extra, but
thanks.
You never know. You might need 2 bags, but yeah.
Oh, what's this?
This is these are some root tabs.
So okay. Well, they come with the bag.
You get them free. Yeah, you get them free with the bag.
You say free. I mean, surely it's
you have technically paid for it. Yeah.
No, we'll go free. It feels good then, doesn't it? It feels like a win.
Coming out of me, but yeah.
Can I see what they?
There you go.
So what is it? Is it like a clay? It's some kind of nutrient.
Yeah. I mean, I take it these are probably going to take a long time to break down, so slow release.
Ah, yes.
So you can just sprinkle them on top and just add to the...
I tell you what, there's definitely enough sort of nutrients and things going in. So like with my systems, obviously under the sand, I like to pack in a lot of the nutrients. What I'm doing really is creating this, isn't it?
Essentially, yeah, in a way, yeah.
But this is just all in one packet.
Yeah. And I'd say probably this is more supercharged maybe than yours. Because we are using a lot more light and CO2, therefore it makes sense that you need to use a lot more in your substrate.
That makes sense, yeah.
You raise one thing, everything else goes up at the same time. So.
Yeah, with all of those. So, you just sprinkle them about on that layer, so not on the soil.
No, not on the soil. That would be, so that locks it away, and then they can slowly break down over time, basically.
Okay, cool. Do you know if you can put them in at a later date, like to recharge?
Oh, yeah, you can, yeah. So say maybe in 6 months' time, you feel that the plants need some more, then just get a long pair of tweezers. You're paying a little bit extra for it, but they've done all that research, all that work for you.
Yeah.
And you just use the system, and hopefully it will just work for you.
Whereas my system's taken about 5 years to sort of...
Development. Yeah.
Okay, so are you going full soil substrate?
We're going to do soil all over in this one, just to demonstrate the full substrate system.
Okay, that's cool.
On a plant tank. We could have done like a sand foreground or something like that, but I thought...
Well, George has done that.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It's been done, so let's do a full substrate system and
which will be the first one in the studio like that, so that's perfect. Wow. Yeah, good show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, always go to the front, otherwise you end up pushing all that the coarser stuff to the front.
Yeah.
Standard stuff. Hopefully you go. Well, there'll be people watch this that haven't done it before. So yeah, we don't want the underlayer coming forwards in the glass because you can see it and it doesn't look as nice. So if you pour from the front like Dave is, it's making sure it doesn't shift forwards. A bit on the light there. That's all right. Whoops.
All right, here we go.
Nice big pile in the middle there. Now we've protected the front. And then I'm guessing, Dave, you're just going to get your shape.
That's it.
No, that's it. That is the shape. We're going for the hill, but let me turn these lights off because we've got a lot of reflections. Hang on.
Mate. Nice.
Okay, there we are. We are a little bit darker in this corner now, but the focus should be on the tank. So
I was going to use my tool, but I'm actually going to use
your
my
hands. Oh.
Yeah. Sometimes I use my hand for bulk movement.
Yeah. I pretty much just use my hands, and everyone moans at me. You've got all these expensive tools, and you use your hands.
Yes, to neaten it out. That's where little tool comes in. Probably want it just a few, like an inch or so from the foreground, in the front glass, sorry. You want enough depth to put the plant into.
Yeah. And also it'll creep into it, so I'm guessing you won't plant right at the front, because that wouldn't hold it really. Well,
that should be enough there, hopefully. Might bring a bit more forward.
But we're high energy, aren't we? So it's going to creep. It's going to creep massively.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what you're going? Oh no, we'll wait. I'm trying to. Well, you can do that later. We've got a good selection of plants. So.
I could give a hint, maybe. Or no, if we get the wood in first, it's good.
Okay. Did you bring plants?
Bought a few, yeah.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Where are they? They're on the front of my car.
Oh, I was going to say I've not seen any, but
I forgot them.
I've got quite a few. Don't get me wrong. It's just that if I said to Dave, if you want any specific, then yeah, just bring them along.
I brought them out of my car last night because I thought it'd be too cold. I put them on the kitchen table, and then as you said that, I thought, did I pack them? All right, there we go.
Okay, so Dave's gone for like a rounded mound, and I'm guessing that's where the main centre of the island of the hardscape is going to sit. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, the plants are going to be sort of this high on the sides, and then they're going to come higher in the middle and go back down again.
Okay, cool. Right, the wood is in. Is that exactly the same, Dave?
Probably not, but it's
but you're happy
enough
with it,
for me, yeah.
Are we away from the glass there? Because that's going to do my head in. No, it's fine. We're good. We're good.
I didn't actually think of that, but yeah.
Okay, so yeah, wood is in. Next up is going to be rocks, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to start by putting some of these dark or black elderly stones in there, and we're going to glue the wood to the rock as well.
Okay.
And this is going to contrast really well on the foreground carpets as well.
Yes, because we got no sand at all, so it's just going to be like green, black, wood, and then
more green.
Hopefully by the end, if it's my style, we won't see any of the hardscape day.
No, hopefully it'll be all gone. This was wasted.
No. Do exactly what you usually do. And I'm going to maintain it how you would maintain it as well. So that's the thing.
I'll give you the lowdown on that then.
Okay, and we'll put a little slip in of exactly what I have to keep up on. Yeah, exactly.
And then send me a picture every week.
Yeah.
I'll text you on Monday. Have you done this, Mark?
Yeah. Keep me accountable. Like, I'm going to have to... So you do weekly water changes, don't you?
Yeah, we literally drain it down to here every week and fill it up.
Really?
Yeah.
So against what everyone says, 30% only.
Yeah, it's we get it a lot because it's not the traditional kind of like advice for a normal fish tank.
Fish tank, yeah.
This is different. This is a whole different league, like ball game.
Yeah.
Entirely. Your highlight and your CO2 is like supercharging this tank, so the waste build up in the tank is far quicker than a normal tank. Yes, you've got a filter on there, but that doesn't do it alone. That manual intervention, and basically you're getting rid of waste by diluting.
Yeah.
Don't forget plants produce waste as well.
Yes.
And these plants will be growing really quick, producing lots of waste.
Okay, right. I will keep up on it. Only on this tank, though.
Cool. One tank's good.
Okay. Right, yeah, let's crack on with
Let's do that.
With your rocks.
Yep. Oh, such a nice stone, this.
Yeah, it looks great. I like the little orangey highlights and stuff. So
yeah,
it's not just pure black. Pure black would be a bit boring. I mean, it does work in some scapes, but having that little bit of colour...
A bit more character and it's lovely.
So are you using this to pin down, Dave, or are you just finding where they naturally sort of slot? Because that's what I would do.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, at this stage, I kind of put them in going by instinct, but really what you want to think about is two things, like the size of the rocks, obviously the positions that you're putting them in, where you're going to glue wood to the rocks, and things as well. What you don't want to do is probably have like 4 rocks, all of the same size, positioned in a line. That just looks so unnatural. We kind of want to go zigzaggy with them, different sized rocks. And obviously, think about where you're going to glue. Like, for example, I know that I'm going to glue this bit of wood here to that rock there.
Yeah.
So they're serving two purposes, aesthetically and structurally.
And like, I always say, like, as long as you don't put them in a straight line, you can't really get it wrong, especially when you've got a rock like that looks awesome just anywhere.
Yeah. And think about the plants as well when you put in the hardscape in, because obviously plants are going to grow. So think about what plants you're going to put in before you do your hardscape and whereabouts you're going to put them. Because there's no point putting a rock here, and it might look good now, but the plants are going to grow over that and cover it. Whereas I know that there's going to be low plants around here, and the rock that I've put here is not going to be covered by plant growth because we're going to be putting carpeting plants there.
It's something I definitely don't think ahead of.
It's really difficult as well because you don't always know how your tank's going to look, even though you've got a plan. So you just do the best you can, and just giving it a little bit of thought about what plants you're going to use and where you're going to put them before you do your hardscape is going to help you do the hardscape first.
So, like, you're essentially saying plan for negative space, because the negative space will be filled at a later date. It can look a bit drab to start with if you haven't got tall plants, but once they're grown in, you know, think of that as the hardscape.
Yeah.
But plants.
Yeah, exactly. And plants are like hardscape, apart from they change. So that's one good thing. That's one thing you can't change about hardscape. When you put it in, it's going to stay exactly the same, but the plants do change. So I know that some plants are going to be planted here, but they're going to grow up to here, and this might be empty to begin with, but we know that plants, so we know that, we're going to think about that when we're doing a hardscape. And then over here, I know that there's going to be short plants here, so this open space is always going to be here.
Okay. We've got the light screen. I think we should carry on as we are for the minute, because I'd like to fill it up with the full kit as it is.
Yeah.
Because I know how well, you can see how well it does. And then I can switch over to the light screen, the lighting, and a canister filter just to show the upgrade as well.
It'll be interesting to see that, like, instant transformation.
Yeah.
So, and the light screen, it does make a huge difference to any scape. I know that it does, and so it'd be really interesting to go from black to white.
Yeah. Right, here's what Dave's done so far, and it looks fantastic. Now, on the surface, like, lots of people, and I'm sure you guys at home will agree, like, you'll be like, I can definitely do that. And then you go and try and do it, and you're like, it doesn't look good. But we were just saying, weren't we, Dave, how we've done it so many times now that we're almost like scaping it out of the tank as you pick it up. So you kind of know where to go.
Yeah, and because you've done it so many times, it's just instinct comes into play, and you kind of put a bit of wood in a certain way, and you haven't really thought about it. You don't know why you've done it. You just know that you've done it that way for a reason, and it's... But the practice is that... The moral of the story is practice, 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 and the more you practice, the easier it'll become, and you'll just be doing it. You'll be doing it without thinking.
This is why I always say to people, if you don't like your tank, break it down, start again, because why not? Like, it's just all practice. As long as you can keep the filter running, keep the fish unstressed, then, just do it again. The amount of times I redid scapes to start with, because I only had one tank. Yeah. So I was like, I'm not happy with it. It's been a month. Do it again.
Yeah.
But... Yeah.
I'm not saying this scape is like groundbreaking either. This is going to be a classic nature aquarium. It's not one of those hardscapes where I'm going to be spending hours like a diorama scape or anything like that. But it's just going to be a classic nature aquarium. And if you roll with your sort of instincts and making things look natural, that's what nature aquariums are all based on. Is the art of bringing natural. Layouts and things that you would see in the wild naturally into your aquarium, rather than it looking contrived and made by a human being. So go for a walk in the woods, go for a walk by a river, and just have a look around at how things are laid out and how things grow, and and just bring that back into your aquarium, and it will really help you lay out your materials more naturally.
So like what you've done there is what I can see is it looks like nature, because I'm not one for like massive composition rules, Dave, because like you say, when you go for a walk in nature, you'll see tons of areas that don't follow it. And it's like...
Absolutely, yeah. Like layout composition and guidelines and everything that you read on the internet, they are guidelines, they're not set in stone.
And guidelines are competition as well, isn't it? Like, because they're looking at that criteria. But for our home naturescapes...
And just use those as a guide, and break them if you want. Don't be bound by the rule of thirds, or don't be bound by how many stones you need in a tank and this and that. It certainly helps, but go by feeling and instinct as well, and what you've actually seen out on your walks in the woods and things like that as well. It really does help you lay out your materials.
Yeah, definitely. And also look at the size, okay? Look at the size of the aquarium and look at the size of the wood and the rocks, because quite often I'll get sent pictures of people saying, do you like this scape? And they've done this, for instance, but like half the size. And already it's not as impactful. It's going to be way harder to fill it with plants, everything like that. So scale stuff, look at how much of the actual aquarium's taken up there. Almost all of it. There's something somewhere to be looking at.
It's a great point. Like the scale thing is like massive. Like we could put some really big chunky bits of wood in here, like, and I mean like sort of this thick, and the scale of the tank will be reduced immediately.
Yeah.
And when you're going with thinner branches and maybe smaller stones, you can still use lots of materials and fill up the space, but with more detailed twiggy bits and thinner bits, you can create, the tank will actually look bigger for it. And we can do the same with the plants. We can use finely textured plants, we can use thin grassy type plants, and this will all make the tank look bigger. If we put a whacking big anubias in the middle with a leaf about this big, you immediately ruin the scale.
So depending on what style of tank.
Exactly, yeah. This is not a must-do thing, but if you're looking to do scale and you're looking to make a tank bigger than it is, this is something that you could do.
Yeah, because I know Ty, for instance, Ty Streetman would put a whacking great piece of anubias in there, because he'd go for more like a jungly
There's absolutely
snapshot.
nothing wrong with that, because that's the style that it is, but here we're going for scale. So if you want to go for scale, then this is the sort of thing you'd be thinking about. Yeah,
nature aquarium scale is different to jungle vibe of, you know, larger plants and that sort of jungly look.
Like if you were going for, like if you were doing a biotope, for example, the scale of the tank would be as it is in nature.
Yeah.
If you were literally picking a section of a river up and putting it in the tank, that's the scale, 1 to 1.
Big wood, big plants.
Whereas we're trying to make this look a much bigger scene than it really is in real life.
Yeah, I get you. Hadn't thought of that, but yeah, that's good. Right, now we need to glue all of this. Are you done with your rocks?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we can glue now to these rocks. I can use the super glue gel and a little spray of the reactor. That's going to lock it all down for us, and then we can get some food.
I've never done that before, so I'm looking forward to that.
Have you not?
Great. No.
Oh, it's perfect.
Nice.
It works a treat. Well, we're about to glue, but Dave spotted something he wanted to change. This is why he's pro.
I just wanted to add a stone because I know that it's going to need a bit more weight here. There's 2 big bits of wood that are going to need more
to hold it down.
To glue it to. Yeah, exactly. So that's going to go in there. You won't really see it, but sometimes you need to do that. Just add an extra stone. Yeah. Structurally.
Okay, and so super glue gel I've got here, the superfish glue gel, and then this is the reactor stuff. I'll leave a link if you're interested. It just sets it straight away. It's absolutely fine for fish, shrimp, and everything like that as well. So yeah, it's all good.
So I put this glue on first, and then spray with the top. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So Dave's just finding a little contact point. You know, it's pretty much the same as what I do, to be honest. But the good thing is about the smaller twigs is they're not massively buoyant. So you only need a little bit, just find a little bit of contact points. There we go, that's enough, Dave.
Wow.
Yeah, it literally reacts, and within like 10 seconds, that'll be solid. And by the time we've done all that, we can go get some food, come back, it'll definitely be solid.
Wow.
Yeah, it's already there.
I can't believe it.
Oh, it makes it so much better, like the amount of times you just go around knocking it all. And it just,
What is this stuff again? Okay, cool.
It's some kind of hydrocarbon. So we've been and had some lunch. Come back, everything is fully stuck down, ready to go. Now it's time to prep some plants so we can get planted. So Dave, obviously still running the business while here, so he's just made a phone call, but he asked me to go and get the plants out of the car. Look at this, we've got Monte Carlo, Juncus repens. I love Juncus repens. It looks so like raw and naturey. Let me show you an example. Yeah, so you can see in this tank here, so that's the Juncus repens grown in, and it just gives like a more sort of wiry, natural look. Absolutely love it. And it is now later on in the day, so you'll notice that quite a few of the tanks are starting to switch off. But obviously we're going to keep working. This one will go off next. And then, they're all about the same time, but they're offset by the odd 5 minutes or so. But you said you bought a few plants. I didn't know you'd bought a whole tray.
A few.
I noticed there's no stems there, though. Are we not going for stems in this one?
No, so we're going to go for mainly a grassy background.
Okay, cool.
So I've got Cryptocoryne balanzai, Cryptocoryne spiralis, and the Juncus. So I kind of want that flowy, grassy background instead this time. So.
That suits me. That's less maintenance for me, isn't it? Like trimmability, you know? Okay, so I've prepped all of my plants bar one, but Dave just had a good point. He wants to show you, because some people are a bit like panicky, aren't they, about prepping plants?
Get rid of the pot. Now here we've just got the plant. You can see the roots on the bottom here, all the grass at the top. We're going to cut this. In fact, I'm going to unravel it first, like this.
Oh, yes.
Just tear it, and then...
I don't know what I'm saying. Oh, yes. Like it's something sexual. Look at those fresh plant roots.
This is going to have to be definitely not for kids. We'll cut this up. So that it doesn't matter whether we're cutting through the roots, through the blades of grass, it doesn't matter. Just cut it into little plugs, as I call them. And you can probably get a good 15 or so plugs.
So how many? We've got 6, haven't we, for ours, but we're going extra dense.
Yeah.
Would you suggest everyone goes extra dense with their planting?
If you can, yeah, definitely. There's a rule of thumb with the tissue culture plants. If you do 1 plant per 10 centimetres, so this is a 60 centimetre aquarium, we've got 6 pots, that should densely plant the front of the tank. What
percentage would you suggest as a shop? You are a salesman, of course you are, but you're selling stuff so that people can have the best start.
Have success, yeah, exactly, yeah. It does come across a little bit salesy when we say, buy as many plants as you can.
Yeah.
But it is for good reason. It's to save you money and time later on. It's to stop failure. So planting is such an important thing, heavy planting from the start, to avoid algae, to avoid problems and things. So it's, yes, you need to spend a little bit more money buying a few more plants, but it does save you money and time later on, I find.
What percentage of budget would you suggest for your plants?
So for this tank, so we've got, what is it, 70 litre tank? 65?
It's 90.
90 litres. So 60 by 40, I would suggest going for about £100 budget.
Okay.
That does sound a lot. You could probably do it for about 75, but if you can get to £100, that'll give you really dense planting, get you off to the best start and minimal chance of algae, or least chance of algae. And in a minute, I'll show you how dense we are going to plant these, because it looks like there's a lot of plugs here, but trust me, we can get this in easily.
Yeah, yeah. And like I always say as well, it's the same, even with my sort of lower tech scapes, still as much plants as you can, because it's making less of a headache for you to start phase. They're using the nutrients faster, less work. It just looks better.
I would say in a high-tech setup like we're doing today as well, it's even more important.
Yeah.
Even though you already emphasised that it's important, it's even more important in this, because everything's going at light speed. We're in 6th gear, we've got loads of light, loads of CO2. We just need loads of plants and filtration to help sort it for us.
Yeah. And if you're doing that full setup and spending that much on lighting and all the system, you can definitely push a little bit more of your plants. It
kind of goes hand in hand, doesn't it? You've already spent, you've deliberately gone high tech, you've wanted to spend lots of money on all the best equipment, so don't almost fall at the last hurdle with plants. Definitely don't.
Yeah, because that would ruin it. Like if you didn't have enough plants, it's going to not ruin it, but it's going to be so much harder.
It is going to be so much harder. You're just heightening the risk of things going wrong, and you spent so much money already. Lower the risk as much as you can.
Definitely. Right, okay, let's get some planting in. So Dave's going to start planting and just give you a few details. Well, just do it, Dave. I don't know why I'm introducing it.
We've got about 60 plugs of this hair grass, and we're going to be planting. Actually, what we need, Mark, is a spray bowl.
Okay, hang on. I have got, not a small one, I've got like a big pumpy upper, but I can be the sprayer.
Yes, nice.
There you go. Just check the end though, Dave, because it might be on high pressure mode, not mist mode. Oh. Yeah, we're on pressure mode.
What do I do, twist it?
Yeah, till it's like closed. Other way, I think.
Other way.
There we go. Okay, so Dave's different to me. I keep everything dry, but then I don't plant into soil. So what's the difference, Dave? Why wet?
I think that the plant just sticks easier in the soil.
Okay.
When it holds down. But some people, like
they go in dry
as well. So many
puns.
Yeah.
Puns? Is that what? No,
puns,
euphemisms.
There you go. So that's sprayed. Right. So we've got your plug here. See how big that is in my hands. And we're going to be planting the entire foreground, 1 pot per 10 centimetres square.
Okay.
So if I start there, I do it fairly uniform, to be fair. We're pushing quite a bit of the plant in, not just the roots, about half the plant underneath, because if it doesn't go in enough, it's going to float when we fill it with water. So I'm pushing that quite deep in.
The soil sort of is gripping it. Yeah. And then when the water goes in as well, it closes in on itself for extra grip. hopefully.
Yeah.
There's always the odd floater, isn't there?
There's always there is definitely always one. You can see how close I'm planting them as well. So we're almost going for a full carpet almost straight away. That's the density we're going for. Of course, there will be gaps.
But I'm a fan of that because it looks done straight away, and I'm so impatient. Yeah, and just keep going. Doing. Is that how far you're going with it, or are you going further back?
I might be going a bit further back to about here, I think. But I'm going to do the foreground first, and then work around the sides a bit.
Nice. Right, foreground plants in, or multiple of the same plant. So that's the hair grass, looking good. See how densely planted that is. Now, even if that sort of doubles in size, like over the next 3 weeks, at that point you're filled in, aren't you, Dave? That's a carpet.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like we've got a full carpet there, but trust me, that's not a full carpet. There's so many gaps, but that's about as close as we can plant the grasses to get together, and all of the soil you won't be able to see it when it's been completely planted. So
that's going to look so good. Yeah. I already like it. Like you say, the contrast with the grass on the black rocks.
It's a really nice effect.
Works really well. What's the next plant?
Next plant I've got is Cryptocoryne parva, which is this small little crypt here. And we're going to be putting that in places like here, maybe some over here. So in between the rocks where grass joins the rocks.
Cool.
And then I've got some Halanthium quadricostatus. Actually going to use this as a background plant, and it grows about that tall. But I'm going to use it in the back corners here and over the other side, but I don't want any height there, so that's fine. It's going to grow about that tall. And I've just noticed I'm going to add some more soil there anyway.
Okay.
I just think it's a bit thin, so we're going to add a bit more soil first before planting.
Is that the one that's like a mini Echinodorus?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
You know Halanthium tenellum green? It's like like
Chunkier.
that, but with a fatter leaf. Yeah.
Cool.
It's a nice plant.
Lots of green, Dave. Eh?
Lots of green.
Kind of jungle.
Little bit, yeah, a little bit. There's going to be a little bit of colour as well, but we'll get to that.
Oh, okay. Oh, surprise. I just said to Dave then, he was like, I was putting the boosters now as the focal points in the middle. I was like, no ferns in this one, so that's different for you, isn't it?
It is really different, yeah, I'm not used to it. So I'm going to go with some boosts, wavy green instead, and have like a bush of it around this area. So I think I'm just going to poke it in, rather than gluing it. We've got some big gaps under here. And it is an epiphyte plant, so I'm not burying the roots in the soil or anything like that, but I'm just pulling it in there, tucking it in. Yeah,
those roots will actually go into the soil as well, and you'll get like extra good growth.
It's mainly the actual rheizome that doesn't like being buried. No. The roots are actually fine.
Yeah, it will do better if the rooty bits can go can go in the soil.
So what we were talking about earlier with like small textures and scale, so that's very much followed out through this scape with the plants as well. The biggest texture we've got so far is the verticillata here, which is the sort of round leaf, mushroomy looking one. That's in the foreground, which is fine. And then as we go back, we're going to have really fine grasses and fine textures. So that will help to play on depth as well, because if you have bigger textures in the foreground and larger textures in the background, it does help play on depth.
Yeah.
And the whole scale of the scapes, hopefully this tank's going to look bigger than it is, because a lot of the textures, a lot of the plants and the wood, they're all quite small. So
yeah. So Dave was saying then, so a bouquet, if you like, in the middle, and then all the grasses and taller plants are going to sprout through it and everything as well. So that's very different to what I've ever done as well. So we're breaking new ground here.
I've never done it before either.
Yeah. I'll send you updates if you can tell me if it needs a fern or not.
Yeah, I might go put a fern in next week at this stage. We don't know.
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Trying it. You can add and take away as much as you want with plants, especially epiphytes. So.
Oh, another thing I haven't spoken of that I've just thought about is this is all green so far, but think about different shades of greens. So we've got lighter shades of greens from the Monte Carlo and the verticillata, then darker shades of greens as well. So even though plants are the same colour or all green, you can work on using different shades of greens in different places of the tank. That really helps with your layout.
Yeah, and that's going to become more prominent as well as the tank progresses.
Yeah.
Because the colours change underwater. because this is like out of water growth at the moment, a lot of this. So yeah, even the grass will go. Actually, no, not with the ADA light. It's all going to be like glowing, isn't it?
Hopefully.
Oh yeah, that's look class. I see what you mean, like the full grassiness in that middle section.
It's nice, isn't it?
And we've already got the height as well, so.
You see, like it's a lighter shade of green, nice feathery texture against this darker, wrinkly sort of texture here.
Yes. I do love that plant. It gives such a natural look, like straight away.
It is, isn't it?
And it doesn't change too much in its underwater sort of form, you know?
No, it doesn't. It's pretty cool. You can even, under the ADA light, you can even get a bit of colour to it as well. Got a bit of orange.
We shall see.
But we'll see what happens with it.
Let me show them the light. Hang on. So this is the ADA light that's going on top. This is hard one-handed, but it's like proper sexy looking. I think we're there, aren't we, Dave?
We are.
Look at that. That is some dense 60-centimetre planting right there.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're going to do now is just really gently, to start with anyway, fill it up so that we don't disturb any of the soil and, you know, move everything. We'll just put down some filter floss. Then I've got like a little spout that can go in. And then whilst that's happening, Dave's going to set up the CO2 system, and he can explain it to you afterwards, because I can't. I mean, I don't think it's too dissimilar to what I've been using. It's just more of it, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a lot more straightforward than it looks, or you might think it is. So yeah, I'm going to show you quickly how to set it up. Yeah.
Cool. There we go. We are all filled up, and it looks even brilliant. Look, under this lighting as well. Like I say, you cannot fault the scaper line lighting, and it's going to grow plants amazingly. So this is an absolutely fantastic kit to start with. You know, Dave's got every single type of equipment you can think of, and even you rate it, don't you, Dave?
What's that? Sorry. Sorry.
I was just talking about the scaper kit as a whole.
Oh yeah.
It's a fantastic starter kit. Like
it is indeed. Like the tank itself is OptiWhite glass, clear silicone. Everything we're looking for as aquascapers in a tank.
Yep.
The equipment that comes with it. It's got a light to get you started, a filter. It's the sort of thing that we would upgrade ourselves, but if you're just starting out, it's perfect light, perfect filter.
Yep.
And you can add a better light and an external filter if you want to in CO2. So
yeah, if you want to, you don't even need to. It depends what level people want to go to.
Absolutely, it depends what you want to do in the hobby. You might want to start off low tech and stay there. You're enjoying that. You might want to start off low tech and progress into something a bit more, like, you know, with the CO2. So it's completely what you want to do. But that tank certainly gets you started and gives you that nice clear OptiWhite glass tank that you can upgrade later on.
Yeah, and the one that I set up in your shop, have they both still got the same scaper light on still?
Both still got the same light on.
Yeah.
One of them's got CO2 and we upgraded the filter.
Yep.
One of them's still got the standard
original
filter on there. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll get you to send me some updated shots, yeah? So
yeah, definitely. They're still going really well.
Show exactly what it's capable of, because it is great. So Dave's set up the CO2.
Yep.
This looks fancy.
Yeah, so this is our Life Aqua compact regulator. Single gauge. So some regulators you have 2 gauges, but this one is the pressure that's going towards the diffuser. So we've got it set there on 0.2. Sometimes you'll have regulators, most of the time will be PSI, so about 30 PSI. You can use this knob here to change it, turn it up or down. 0.2 is fine. You've got your bubble counter here. We'll show this, but you fill that with water and you can turn it up or down here, and the bubbles will speed up or slow down, so you can have 1 bubble a second or 2 bubble a second.
So I've got bubble counter fluid. Do you think that's not necessary? Do you think just the water's fine?
I've always just used water actually.
Okay.
And the downside to that is you have to refill it all the time because it just evaporates or dissipates somewhere. But I don't think it doesn't clog the diffuser or anything like that, so I just always use water.
Yeah, if that's what you use, that's what I'll
up
go
to
with.
you. And then you've got the solenoid valve here, so that's the thing that shuts it off at night, and you plug that into a timer, set it on your timer, go off the same time as your lights, and come on again in the morning.
That's it, yeah?
Well, yeah, basically, yeah.
And then the diffuser, obviously, for the top as well.
Yeah, we're going to put that straight in the tank, so this tubing needs to be cut long enough so we can go up and over the tank, put the diffuser in the aquarium, and we've also got a drop checker as well.
Look at that, fancy. Okay.
We use that to measure the level of CO2 in the water.
Yeah, and there's colours, isn't there? So
Yeah.
blue is not enough, green is perfect,
Perfect. And
yellow's too much.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. All right. You get that fitted. I'll get the filter running.
Okay.
So I'm ready to put the filter on, but before I do, I just have to prime it. And to do that, you just fill it up with water without spilling it all down the back. And what that does is it covers the impeller in water. It means that it can pull against the water rather than the air, and then it will just continue to suck in water from the tank. Just fill it right up to the point where it overflows. There we go. And then plug it in, and there's a little bit of noise to start with just whilst it's clearing out all the air. But there we go, it's already pulling it all near the surface. And there we go, it's running out. I've also put a little piece of plastic here from a bottle that I've cut up. It's a little scoop, just to make sure it all flies across the surface and doesn't batter those brand new plants underneath. But we're now running, and the good thing about the filter is it's got those fine filter pads in there. So it's going to polish the water loads as well. And although it looks pretty clear on camera at the moment, come like tomorrow, it's going to be like gin. Don't you agree, Dave?
Gin.
And you oh, you need a suction cup.
I need a suction cup for my diffuser.
Cool.
Yeah.
Dave is just plugging in the CO2. How fast is it, Dave? Do you have to wait, or is it instant?
I have to wait a few minutes.
Oh.
You have to be patient.
Oh, not patience.
Oh, no,
it's
we
my
need
worst.
another plug. What? It just doesn't fit.
Ah, okay. 2 secs.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
I heard it. It made a noise. Whoa, Dave, that's a lot of CO2.
It's turned up. Hang on. Well, it don't work. So there we go. Yeah.
I said I wanted it instant.
This is how much CO2 we normally put in, right?
No fish. That would be the rule with that one. Well, at least it's fully saturated straight away.
Well, it's all gone out the top of the tank, but...
Oh, true.
Right,
Okay. Yeah, so what you'd usually do is with your external filter, if you've got one, a canister, for instance, you put this underneath the outflow, yeah? Or opposite to the outflow, just so that it's going around the tank. Because at the moment, it's kind of just dispersing upwards. But we haven't got a lot of surface agitation, so a lot of that will still sort of pool there, especially when I get some nice scum on the top.
Yeah, so once you've got your external filter, you'd have the outlets pointed from the other way. The flow would land on top of the CO2 diffuser, keep those bubbles down and circulating around the tank. Then you're going to get a really good distribution of CO2. The diffusion in there is going to be really good as well.
And Dave actually said, when I've got a canister, because I'm going to order that tonight for the upgrade, you know, the next part of the build, there's an inline.
Yes.
So basically that pipe doesn't go to a diffuser, it goes to the...
If your filter's in your cabinet here, this tubing here is going to go into your filter there, and the CO2 is going to come out of your filter outlet. It's all hidden, and then your CO2 will come directly out with the flow, which gives it the best distribution around the tank as well. And
it's already sort of diffused in the water because it's been in it for longer, yeah?
Exactly, yeah. You get really fine bubble out of it, even finer than that. So it's actually more effective than a normal diffuser. So.
Okay, brilliant. Now, I do need to get a timer, so that will go off when the lights go off. Now, Dave said that depending on your water pH, depends on how early you put it on before the light. So if you've got higher pH, what pH are you at?
Yeah, our pH at the tap's about 8. We've got really hard water. So it takes, in this tank, it would probably take about 3 hours for the CO2 to rise to the right level. You've got softer water, so it'll probably take no more than an hour to get the right CO2. And
a lot of people say that I only get like such good growth from my plants because of my water here, but my tank is doing just as well in your water with pH of 8, isn't it, with no CO2 as well?
Yeah, yeah. The majority is like one plant that didn't do too well, but all the other plants did absolutely fine. So it's not the be-all and end-all if you've got hard water or soft water, but it's all about getting the balance right, isn't it?
And picking the plants that work. Like you said, the one that didn't work, you don't pick it again.
Exactly. So if you're not using CO2, use low light and choose easy plants.
Yeah.
If you want to advance and use higher light, and you can use lots of other plants and more advanced plants, get CO2 on there.
Yeah, exactly. This is cool. We're going to tuck it all away and make it look beautiful and everything, but that's it for today. Every single tank has gone off, except for the 8 foot, because I left it on. It's dark outside. It's been a decent day. We got a lot done.
Yeah, it's been flown by.
We didn't just build this tank, did we? We did a full walkthrough and everything as well beforehand. So sprung that on you the second you walked in.
No, that's great. Yeah, I was like, whoa, what's going on? No, thanks for having me.
No, thank you for coming.
Mate. Yeah, really, really good.
Yeah, it's been great. And I feel like I've learned a lot extra as well. Yeah. Hopefully the audience has. And already you can see that this is going to be absolutely insane. 3 weeks, I reckon that will look immense. And then 6 weeks, it will look like peak.
Hopefully.
Oh, you know it will. You know it will. Well, thank you for coming, and speak to you soon.
Cheers, take care.
So it's now been a week since me and Dave set this tank up, and it's doing really, really well, better than I was expecting. I was expecting more algae and things like that, just because we've got exposed nutrients technically with the aqua soil, which I'm not used to. I normally cap everything. There has been a little bit of algae on the glass, but I've scraped it off. The one thing I am noticing though is a lot more scum on the surface, but we are soon about to fix that because it is now time, as planned, to pimp up the whole tank. And I have got here a load of equipment that's going to be going on it. So first of all, back there, the ADA light. Never had an ADA light, never really had an ADA anything. I think I bought a tank once, which was just glass, let's be honest. And that's because it was on offer. We've got pipe work to be able to go from the filter. I'm just using a cheap sort of basic external canister filter, but we're going to be putting inline CO2, you know, from the outflow and from the CO2 bottle. We've got a surface skimmer from Eheim, really good. We've got glass lily pipes in. I just nearly kicked the table and knocked this off. Glass lily pipes, inlet, outlet, so that'll look awesome. And then for the background, we have got a light screen from Life Aqua. Dave wants me to just keep this one white, so that's what I'll do. I'm using lots of these on different other aquariums with different colours and stuff, but this one we're just keeping white. And now I've just got to install all of this. It's all pretty simple. Just, yeah, I don't really need to show you doing that, do I? Okay, lily pipes fitted. Obviously the water levels dropped because it's just filled up the filter. Inline CO2 diffuser as well. So obviously the CO2 goes straight into the line, and there's a little, obviously there's something it goes through first to atomize it, if you like, and then it just comes out already in the water everywhere. So that's perfect. Before I put the lights and the light background on though, I do want to give it a little bit of a clean up. There's a little bit of algae on the glass and that sort of thing. That's just going to help like make it look even better with the upgrades. Right, there we go, water change done. This way we can get like a proper comparison. The water's a little bit misty still, but that's okay. It's quite a lot of oxygen or air bubbles from the water change. But what I'm gonna do now is go from this light, so this is the Superfish light, and then I'm gonna switch to the ADA light in 3, 2, 1. Now, there you go, look. It actually looks completely different, and it does give that ADA look, like slightly more saturation on the greens. The colour temperature is slightly different as well. It's a lot more of a greener tone, which makes the greens pop more as green. Less natural, I'd say, than the Superfish light, but certainly looks quality. Like the overall look of the light on top of the tank just looks incredibly stylish. You can't argue with that. Hopefully we can see, look, if you can see the reflection, I don't know if the camera will let me actually show this, but let me try. So the colour tone of the LEDs is a lot more of a green. It's got like green and whites I can see in the reflection. And what that seems to do is just make a lot more vibrancy in the plants. They do look really, really good. And it does have that ADA vibe, doesn't it? Right, now time for the background, the light screen. I'm gonna take that black backing off because remember we just stuck it on, and I can put the light screen straight on. Well, I have to say that looks amazing. I like it so much. I was fiddling around with the lights for a little bit. You've basically got one row of coloured and one row of like pure white. I've turned off all the colours because we just want white in this one, and I think that looks the best. To be honest, with just the ADA light on, I didn't like the colouring. I just felt it was a bit synthetic and very, very green. Over the top green, like a luminous green. And me and George Farmer were talking about this the other day, how it can sometimes just ruin the look, I think. It does give an ADA look, but I like a more natural tone, and we're definitely getting that now with the white coming through of the light background. It's kind of cancelling out some of the green LEDs, so it doesn't look so brutally green. Obviously, it's still green, but the two combined there are working perfectly for colours. I mean, you could just use a Chihiros and just tune it to whatever color you want. But the Chihiro stands don't look as good as that. I mean, that is the best looking stand I've ever seen for a light. And the whole setup here, yeah, wow, it definitely works. A lot of money, of course it is. And I still cheaped out with the, you know, the entry level scaper glass as well. You can get 4 times as expensive glass as what we've got here from Superfish. And to be honest, it's just a glass box. I mean, but some people love their ADA stuff, and I do get that. If you're really, really into hobby and you've got 1 or 2 tanks, that might be what you want to go for. But for me, this right here is the perfect sort of, I don't know, middle point between upgrading but not having to spend so much to start with. I think it works. Right, I've made a mess again. All of the lights have gone off. It's late. I just wanted to keep going until I got this done. Next time we see the tank now will be in a good few weeks when everything's grown in and we're ready for fish. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and I'll keep you updated of anything that happens. I'll probably add some Amano shrimp in there soon. But other than that, it's just going to grow now. So yeah, see you soon. Right, it's been 3 weeks now since we set up the tank. I don't know if you can tell, it's not looking great. Don't tell Dave. Hopefully he got bored by this point in the video and thought, I already created it, I'm not interested. But he did tell me that I need to keep up on water changes. I know that, I know you need to do that. So on day 2, did a almost 100% water change, so about 80%. And then that was it. And yeah, here we are. So everything you're seeing right here now could have been avoided. The good news is the plants are growing fantastically well, but we have got a lot of algae going on. Now that's just because there is nothing in there consuming the algae. Obviously we've got nutrient dense soil. Basically we need to do more water changes. I'm going to do one now, and then I'm going to put in some Amanos and Ottos, and that should clear everything, and then keep it low as well. See, that's why I'm not too worried. If I see a tank like this, it doesn't bother me. Let it go through its little stage, let it have its tantrum, and I can just quite easily sort it. So a lot of manual removal now, water change, and then cleanup crew. So there we go, a nice big water change. I've removed most of the algae that was sort of stringy and everywhere. There's still a little bit of remaining, but that's not a problem. That's gonna be food for the cleanup crew. So what I've got here is about 10 Amano shrimp. These guys will be so, so good, you wouldn't believe it. Within a couple of days, most of this will all be gone. I mean, they'll literally get to work straight away as well. And then we've also got 10 Otto sinkless. Ottos are cool fish in themselves. Get a decent group of them, they like stay schooling together, but they also do a great job of just chewing on bits of wood and the rock. They get all like stubborn algae off as well. Really, really good as a team, but like I say, they're cool fish in themselves. Oh, this one seems to be stuck on the, what's he doing? Is he being dramatic? You okay in there, buddy? What are you doing? Is he all right? Seems to, yeah, he's all right. Oh, there we go. Sometimes fish are like that when you first put them in, but he's eating on the wood straight away. But yeah, that's a decent sized team there. You've got 10 Amanos, 10 Ottos. As we progress in the tank, I will take out 3 of each, probably 3 or 4 of each, because there'll be less sort of food available for them, and I'll be able to put them in different tanks that need it and that sort of thing. But I'd say you always want to keep a group of 6 Ottos together if you can. Minimum of 3 if you've got like a real nano tank or something like that. But Amanos are pretty good if you just want to put 1 or 2 in, for instance, but they won't do as much of a job. You need a good 5 or 6, I'd say, in any sort of tank, just to keep on top of background algae and keep everything looking awesome. Right, we'll come back to this in a few days, and I bet it's looking 10 times better. Right, everything is really, really clear. It's looking so good. It's taken a little bit longer than I expected. I said a couple of days. It's been more like 4 or 5, 4.5, something like that. I think that's due to the fact that the ADA Amazonia is a little bit more punchy than I'm used to using, and we've got higher powered lighting, so of course it's taken a little bit longer, but we're there. Here we go. Look at that. I mean, before on screen it didn't look too bad, but you could, if you went close, see like wispy bits everywhere. But now, perfect. Look at that Otto going to town. Nothing on the wood at all. I think I counted like one little area where I saw a tiny bit, but I think it was just caught algae from before. But now look. Even down in the grass here, there was absolutely tons like clogging it all up. 0, absolutely 0. So a cleanup crew does work very well, is massively worth the investment as well, and they'll all stay on top of it. But now it's clear we can add in some feature fish. Now very soon, the triple that I've got here of these tanks, 140 scapers they are, I'm going to be doing a new setup in each one. So I'm going to have I'm going to go like hardscape only in the end one with plecos or special bristle nose, that sort of thing. I'm going to go to nature in the middle and then go to jungle in the end. So you've got the progression, and I think, get out of the way. So you've got the progression, and I think it's a cool look as well. So I'm going to be starting with this tank shortly. So I'm going to move the fish from here into the new aquarium with a couple of other extras as well. We have got a no, not a pearl gourami. We have got a dwarf gourami, really nice coloration. I've had them quite a while now, and we've got these harlequin resporas. They might not be harlequins actually, it could be copper. I think they're copper resporas, and this other just random respora as well, which I don't think I bought, but is very, very nice. I think it just got scooped up in a group. But so I did buy 2 of the dwarf gourami originally. I haven't seen the other one in a long time. It might still be in there, but we'll have to wait and see. I've got to break this down to get them out, to be honest. I don't think I'm going to be able to catch these otherwise. You'll never guess what. I got them all. I just thought, before I break this down, let's just try and scoop them out in one go, put a little bit of food in, and it literally worked. I wish I filmed it. I didn't, because I thought, no, that's not happening. It's not going to happen. But it did. Every single one caught straight away. So you can move them straight across, no messing about. Way less stress, which is obviously the best option. So here we go, first fish are going in. Hopefully they like the, oh, the colours look insane underneath the ADA lighting. Yeah, so we've completely different colour to the copper resporas. Yet again, some are having a hissy fit. They'll be fine in a minute. Yeah, the reds of the fish show up so well under the ADA. Even the gourami at the back's got like oranges really, really popping. Looking so good. Guys, come on. Look, this is too much now. This is too much. Oh, there we go. One of them's moved now. This one's just chilling in this area. Go find your group. That's the thing. He's on his own, so he doesn't know that like all of them are back there and absolutely fine. That's all right. He'll come and find, or her. You know, you can't really sex these fish at these sizes, can you? Yeah, they'll come and find him or her, and then they'll be fine. Yay, there we go. That's better. Everyone's happy now. Breathing rate slowed right down, which is good because they were panting a little, but yeah, looking good. Where's our gourami? He seems to have found his little place back there that he likes. Anyway, we can now add a few more fish, just a couple, a little bit more features, that's all. And I am talking about the fish I've got here. So I've got some luminatus rainbows and I've got some peacock gudgeons as well. Not a huge group there, but you know, they're really, really cool fish, very interesting. Peacock gudgeons are just amazing. So we can add those in as well, just for a bit of extra interest, like to the tank. It's a better tank for them as well. This is just like a holding tank, so it's not like the most beautiful looking thing. And here come the rainbows and the gudgeons. Beautiful. Absolute. I thought it would be the case. The luminatus, again, is that the reds, just crazy popping reds in them. Gudgeons look great as well. Let me get a close-up. Look at the awesome colouring, the barring, the red barring looks great. So that's a male there, and obviously we've got females as well that aren't quite as coloured. But yeah, they'll chill out there for a little bit, just like the Rasporas did. And hopefully they'll start exploring the tank a little bit more. Everyone else is comfortable now. Luminatus have just gone straight in with the coppers. Yeah, working really well. I'm going to leave them to get settled. Oh, our gourami's come out. Much better colours now. It was quite stressed, you could tell, because it lost a lot of the colour. But it's all coming back all the way through the body. So I think this has been a massively successful experiment. I say experiment because I was trying out the idea that you start the hobby, more affordable equipment, and then you can progress into something that is, let's be honest, very expensive, but also even more beautiful looking, potentially. Depends on what you like, really. So this aquarium right here, the Superfish Scaper 90, I think is the best and most affordable way of getting into the hobby. It looks fantastic straight away out the box. And even right after we'd set the tank up, I think it looked so, so good. But obviously I've got loads of the Superfish Scaper line. I've got all of them because they're that good. I use them very regularly and I'm very used to them. So for me, it's so exciting to be able to jump in, add tech to it all, sort of upgrade it. We've kind of speedlined the transition that you might have as a hobbyist at home. You know, you start with your basic aquarium, you do well with it, and you want to upgrade. This is incredibly common. Well, if you're like anything like me, you don't upgrade, you just buy more tanks. That's how I always invested my money. But I think it's safe to say we've ended up with an amazing looking aquarium that looks incredibly high end. I think Dave's going to be massively proud of it. It is like something that you see in his shop. And I'm also pleased that I was able to keep everything going so well. I think the fish complement the tank really well. They're not too much, as that is quite often the way of a nature aquarium. You just stick with a small little group of fish just for a nice bit of interest. And the tank itself, the hardscape, the plants, that does most of the talking. You know, the look of the tank itself from a distance pulls you in, and then you're like, oh, I really like these fish. They look so good in there. So overall, this experiment, if you can call it that, I think has worked amazingly well.